Good morning. Today we will discuss regarding special casting processes, in which today we will see or we will discuss regarding shell molding process and CO2 molding process. So in a shell molding process, the mold is formed from a mixture of fine sand and thermosetting resin binder. So that mixture, it is placed against a heated metal pattern. Now, after heating that mixture over a pattern, shell is formed, and that shells are used to make a mold. So, regarding the shell molding process, so pattern, it is machined from the cast iron, aluminum, or steel. So, a metallic pattern having the shape of the desired casting is made in one half from the carbon steel or aluminum or cast iron material. Now, after making a pattern, the next step is sand resin in a dumb box. You can see the diagram B. So there is a dumb box in which sand and resin mixture, it is poured. There is a dumb box and there is a hot pattern. Okay. So metallic pattern, it is heated in an oven to a suitable temperature. So in a previous step, we have made a pattern of the desired shape in half shape. Then that pattern, it is heated in an oven to a suitable temperature between 180 degrees Celsius to 250 degrees Celsius. The pattern, it is taken out from the oven, and to remove the shell from the pattern, a release agent containing a silicone is spread over the hot pattern. Now, in a dumb box, put the mixture of dry and fine silica sand with thermosetting phenolic resin, that is binder, and it is poured in a dumb box. So this is regarding the step number 1. Now the step number 2. So in a step number 2, mixture dump over a heated pattern. So you can see in a diagram, there is a dump box. Okay. So that dump box, it is quickly inverted. It is reverse. So you can see in a diagram, the dump box, it is reverse. After reversing, the sand mixtures falls over the surface of the heated pattern. Now the heat penetrates the mixture, resulting formation of shell over the pattern. Now the shell that will be formed over the heated pattern due to the penetration of heat. Step number 3, that is shell form over a pattern. In the next diagram, you can see, there is a diagram D. The pattern, it is then turned over to allow unbonded sand to be removed. So after a few seconds, the box is again inverted to its initial position so that the loose resin sand mixture falls down, leaving behind a thin layer of shell on a pattern face. In other words, the shell is formed on a pattern. Step number 4, shell removed from the pattern. So in a bottommost diagram, you can see the shell that is formed over the pattern, it is removed. So the shell, it is then removed from the pattern with the help of ejector pins which pass through the pattern. So some ejector arrangement that is made in a pattern. So it may be some ejector pin arrangement to remove the shell from the pattern. In the next step, that is step number 5, curing the shell. The shell is heated in an oven and cured for about 1 to 3 minutes at 300 degrees Celsius to 400 degrees Celsius temperature. So that is regarding step number 5, that is curing of the shell. Step number 6, you can see the diagram. So shells join together to form a mold. Now, another shell half is prepared in a similar manner, and both the shells are assembled together with the help of bolts, clips, or glues to form a mold. The assembled part is then placed in a box with suitable backing sand to receive the molten metal. So you can see in a diagram. So two halves of the shells that are joined together forming a mold. Then it is placed in a metal case with some backing material. Then molten metal, it is poured in that mold. After cooling and solidification, the shells are broken and casting is removed. Okay, so after the casting solidifies, it is removed from the mold, cleaned and finished to obtain the desired shape. Now we will see the advantages of this process. So better surface finish and dimensional tolerances that can be obtained. So machining, it is reduced, requires less foundry space. Semi-skilled operators can handle the process easily. Shells can be stored for extended periods of time. Then disadvantages. Initially, the metallic pattern has to be cast to the desired shape, size and finish. Size and weight range of castings is limited. Process generates noxious fumes. So these are some disadvantages. Now we will take another example. So first step, sand resin in a dumb box. You can see the diagram 1. There is a pattern. Then that pattern, it is heated in a oven and it is placed over the dumb box. So there is a dumb box in which sand resin mixture, sand and resin mixture, it is poured in a dumb box, and that heated pattern, it is placed over the dumb box. So first step, that is sand resin in a dumb box. So pattern, it is placed over the dumb box. Then mix the dry and fine silica sand with thermosetting phenolic resin binder and put in a dumb box. The metal, it is heated up to 250 degrees Celsius temperature, the melting point of the resin. And to remove the shell from the pattern, a release agent containing a silicone, it is sprayed over the hot pattern. Step number 2, you can see the diagram 2, the mixture dump over a heated pattern. Now the dump box, it is quickly inverted. You can see in a diagram 2, the dump box, it is inverted, it is reverse. Now due to that, the sand mixture falls over the surface of the heated pattern. The heat penetrates the mixture, resulting formation of shell over the pattern. So step number 3, shell form over a pattern. Now you can see in a diagram 3, the pattern, it is then, or the dump box, it is then again reverse. So it is turned over to allow unbonded sand to be removed. The shell, it is formed on a pattern. In a diagram, you can see the unbonded cell that falls down in a dump box, and the the shell that is formed over a heated pattern, that is shown in a red color. So that is the shell that is formed. Step number 4, shell removed from the pattern. So in a diagram 5, you can see the shell, it is then removed from the pattern with the help of ejector pin which pass through the pattern. So by using some ejector arrangement, you can remove the shell from the pattern. Step number 5, curing the shell. The shell, it is heated in an oven and cured for about 1 to 3 minutes at 300 degrees Celsius to 400 degrees Celsius. Then step number 6, you can see the diagram 6. The shells join together to form a mold. So similar shells that you can make by using the procedure, and two shells or two halves of the shells that are joined together. So in this way, stable shell molds are obtained, which are made in two sections. Both sections are match and join. So you can see in the diagram, both the sections that are match and it is joined. Finally, they are placed in a metal case with some backing material. So there is a clamping arrangement that is made for the two shells to be joined. Okay, then there is a flask or a metal case in which some backing material to support the shells that is placed. Then molten metal it is poured in that mold. After cooling and solidification, the shells are broken and casting is removed. Now you can see in a bottommost diagram. So that is a desired casting. Okay, so that is regarding the shell molding process. Now the second process, that is CO2 molding process. So this process is basically a hardening process for the molds and cores. The principle of working of the CO2 process is based on if CO2 gas is passed through a sand mixture containing sodium silicate and the sand, the mold immediately becomes extremely strong. In this, the sodium silicate becomes a stiff gel. So in a diagram, you can see there is a pattern, then molding sand along with that sodium silicate and the sand mixture. It is placed or it is packed around the pattern, and there is an arrangement that is made for passing the CO2 gas. So after passing the CO2 gas, so that mold that will becomes extremely strong. Now this gel is responsible for giving necessary strength to the mold. Now we will see the detailed process. The silica sand used must be dry and free of clay. This sand mixture with sodium silicate liquid base binder in a Muller. It is mixed. So this sand is mixed with sodium silicate liquid base binder in a Muller. So suitable additives like coal powder, wood flour, sea coal, dextrin may be added to improve certain properties. The suitable sand mixture is packed around the pattern in a flask or in a core box. So the core box that is used for making the core. So you can make the core by using this process. Okay, so that you can see in a diagram, the suitable sand mixture, it is packed around the pattern in a flask. When packing it is completed, CO2 gas is forced into the mold. So there is a, you can see in the diagram, there is a probe through which the CO2 gas that is passed inside the mold. The reaction proceeds rapidly and compressive strength of mixture reaches to maximum. For every 1 kg of sodium silicate, 0.5 to 0.75 kg of gas is required. So patterns required for this process may be made of wood, metal or plastic. Now we'll see the advantages. This process has many advantages in comparison to other forms of castings. Some of them are as follows. Compared to other casting methods, cores and molds are strong. So by using this process, the cores and the molds are become very strong. Reduces fuel cost since gas is used instead of other costly heating generating elements. Operation is speedy. Molds and cores can be immediately after processing. Great dimensional accuracy. Semi-skilled workers can be used and the process that can be fully automated. Regarding disadvantages, difficulty in reclaiming used sand. Bench life of sand mixture is much shorter than for most other mold and core mixes. The sand mixture it is costly, collapsibility it is poor, that is shakeout properties are poor, and it is difficult to reclaim the used sand. Now the applications, CO2 casting process is ideal where speed and flexibility is the prime requirement, and other application, molds and cores of varied sizes and shapes can be molded by this process. So this is regarding the special casting processes. First is shell molding and the CO2 molding. Thank you.